He started, but croaked in pain. The gun shook in my hand. This is the first time I'd ever shot one before, let alone at a person. I didn't get time to decide what to do next. There was a deep growl that filled the air and echoed all around us. The ground almost felt like it was trembling. Further back in the room, I could hear something twisting around. Its movements were cracky and heavy. The odor from earlier grew stronger, flooding my nose even more than before. Shit! It's awake! I heard Terrence scream out. He turned to leave, yet before I could even blink, I felt a large rush of wind raced past me. The smell of its odor lingered behind me. Whatever it was fast. It was huge. The next thing I heard was it pouncing on Terrence. I could hear it ripping into him, tearing pieces apart. His screams flooded the air, a blood-curdling shrill so intense it drew tears from my eyes. I could hear the thing continue to tear at him, cracking bone as it did. Somehow I managed to find the feeling in my legs and bolted out of the room. Behind me, I heard the thing let out a frightening roar. I didn't stop running, though. Pushing as hard as I could through the tight walls, I could hear its heavy footsteps pounding behind me. The snarls from its breathing growing closer to my ears. It was gaining quickly, and without thinking, I aimed the gun behind me and fired off a few rounds. It wasn't until after the third round that I heard another loud roar. The footsteps behind me immediately came to a halt. I continued running until I reached the open area once again. I was out of breath, but I knew I couldn't stop. That thing was sure to continue its pursuit soon, so I couldn't waste any time. Before I could fully gain my composure, I heard footsteps heading in my direction. They weren't from the tunnel behind me, but ahead. I quickly readied my gun, ready to fire again. 3 figures emerged from the darkness, racing frantically. It was the other church members. I had already fired 4 bullets, which meant that I only had 2 left. There were 3 of them, so I would have to decide carefully who I wanted to shoot. It came to a halt in front of me. "Hello, Marcus," I heard Margaret's voice speak from out of the 3. "Have you finally stopped running?" "Back the fuck off!" I yelled, the gun still pointed at them. "If I have to, I will kill you, crazy bastards!" I heard one of them giggle. It must have been Sophia. Then slowly began edging their way towards me. I backed up a little, keeping the gun trained on them. I started to shift to the side, hoping to align the next tunnel to my back. It was clear this gun was doing nothing for me. I probably would only have enough time to shoot one before the others rushed in. I would need to be quick, so I could make a run for it. "Come now, Marcus. Have you realized it yet? You really think we invited you all the way out here just to install some silly computers?" Margaret began. I was stunned when I heard this. "What the hell are you talking about? Why else would I be here?" She chuckled. "We needed a legitimate reason to get you out here, and here you are." "You don't even know who I am," I said. She was clearly talking nonsense. "Is that what you think? I'm surprised none of this appears familiar to you. You have, after all, been down this path before." My hand slowly lowered the gun. I don't know why, but a small portion of me believed, even if it did sound ludicrous. "What do you mean?" "It's Linnaeus. He's always had a fascination in you. Something about you, She started to say, but trailed in her words. "What about me?" Before she could answer, a large figure bolted from the shadows, pounced on Margaret. It was that horrid creature from earlier. It had caught up. Now, among the dim candlelight, I could make out more of its features. I really wished those candles weren't there. Through the poor lighting, I could see its thin, elongated arms, the sharp talons for fingers, massive horns extended from its back. Its loose, wild hair fell across its crude snout of a face. Its blood-colored eyes glowed, piercing the darkness. I watched as it began tearing into Margaret, as it had with Terrence. With each new sound of splitting flesh came a louder shrill from her. Her loud cries bounced off the walls, extending throughout the tunnel. The others attempted to flee, but they didn't get far. The creature was merciless, pouncing on them and tearing into them in the same manner. Suddenly, I felt a harsh tug on my arm, pulling me down the tunnel behind. It was the old woman. I didn't know where she'd come from, but I didn't question her. The tormenting screams of the others continued to resonate in the air. The burning pain in my lungs returned as we tried to run. The old woman yelled back not to stop. I could hear the struggle in her voice as well to maintain the pace. There seemed to be no end to the tunnel. It felt like we were running in place, making no progress. In the midst of my exhaustion, I felt my foot drag, causing me to lose my balance. I fell hard, slamming onto my already injured knee. Get up now, the old woman screamed at me. I tried, but struggled to do so, caught in the blend of pain and exhaustion. I tried to pull myself up using the wall. Behind me, I could hear the rapid thumping of large footsteps once again. I could feel the old woman help me up. She threw my arm over her shoulder and began assisting me forward. However, it was too late. We could feel the gaze emanating from the creature behind us. Our eyes must have fully adjusted to the dark because I could clearly make out its massive form. Its hot breath blew against our faces, the smell of fresh blood lingering in it. The old woman pushed me away. "Run, now," she said softly. "What?" I replied back in shock. "No, we have to stick together." "No, you must go. I will hold it off." "But go!" Her voice startled me. I quickly turned and I began hobbling away. Behind me, I could still hear her. "Foul demon, think you've won," the creature rendered. A harsh snarl in return. I could hear her begin to recite strange words in another language, and the creature sounded affected, screaming loud roars of pain. Whatever she was saying, it was clearly working. I paused to look back, just making out their faint outlines in the dark. I wondered if what she was doing was actually going to stop it. However, I saw the creature swinging one of its long arms at her. Her body flew against the wall, producing a sickening crack. Her words instantly died. Not long after, I could hear the thing ripping away at her. The blow must have been enough to kill her because she didn't yell in pain. I went from hopping aggressively on one foot to a full-fledged run. I ignored the pain from my knee, feeling fear and adrenaline engulfing me. Up ahead, I could see a light from the end. I knew I didn't have much time until the thing would continue its pursuit for me. It reached the opening, revealing the original ritual area that I'd come across. I was hesitant in approaching the perch, but I did so looking down. Victoria was still down there. Based on her increased wails, it wouldn't be long before she gave birth. I saw no trace of the Reverend. I made my way down the stairs, approaching the symbols surrounding Victoria. Up close, I could tell they were made from blood. The bowls were still blazing. The heat from them was intense, forcing sweat down my face. When I approached Victoria, her eyes fell upon me. I could see the fear returning in them. Stay the fuck away from me," she yelled, struggling with words. I was taken back by this, but then I remembered I was still wearing the mask. I quickly removed it and was revealed to see her eyes light up upon seeing me. "Marcus." Yeah, I'm here, Victoria," I answered, rushing to her side. Tears formed in her eyes. "Marcus, please." She stopped mid-sentence, rendering another wail. She continued screaming. I could hear her vocals become rasped from the strain. I didn't know what to do. A massive lump moved across her stomach, uncontrollably pressing up against her skin. I didn't think it was possible, but her screams grew even louder. I felt completely useless right now. Just when I thought that it couldn't get any worse, I heard a familiar roar from above. The creature from earlier had returned. I could see its burning red eyes beaming down from the perch. It leapt from the top, landing with a loud thud. Its disturbing form hunched over, breathing a rapid rhythm, exhaling a snarl in between. Now fully in the light, I felt my stomach tighten at its presence. The thought of the statue came to my mind. This thing was almost a spitting image of it, but only worse. Its face was more disturbing in person, with its blackened humanoid dog features. The nose atop its snout appeared caved in, flaring with its breathing. Its eyes were beady, completely dyed with a crimson red atop its forehead. It held a large closed eye. I stood in between Victoria and the beast. I wasn't going to let this thing do anything to her. I raised the gun up, ready to fire, waiting for it to make a move. Yet that was it. It did nothing. It just stood there, breathing. "Come on!" I yelled, trying to provoke it. "Do it! Come at me, you sick fuck!" Did nothing still. Instead, the edge of its lips curled up in a twisted smile. I felt a shiver run down my spine. The damn thing was smiling at me. I was ready to fire the gun, but then I noticed the bullet holes in it. from where it had been previously hit. Two of the bullets had managed to hit it. They stuck out of its wounds, barely penetrating it. It was useless. The gun did nothing. Realizing this, I lowered it, eventually letting it drop to the ground. When I did, the smile grew wider. The hell are you? That, my boy, I heard the Reverend's voice answer out loud, is Linnaeus, the white eye of time. I could hear it behind me, but I didn't dare break my eyes away from the creature. He'll become the world's new master. I was speechless. Yo, witness, he's rebirth into this world, Marcus. He'll reshape it into his image. Now, witness. As if on cue, the creature began to roar into the air. I could see the rows of its blood-covered teeth extend deep back into its throat. It felt as if the whole room was rumbling, and suddenly it collapsed onto the ground, lying motionless. I was confused. Did it die? If it did, what killed it? Victoria broke the silence, screaming at a level a human shouldn't be able to reach. The form within her moved around vigorously, eventually tearing its way free. Blood flew in all directions, some spattering across me. My eyes turned to see a blood-soaked creature wallowing around in the remains of Victoria. It looked to be the size of a dog. I could see the sharp talons from one of its lanky arms clinging to the side of the table. Curled horns protrude from its head, entangled with the wild strands of its hair. It sniffed the air for a while before turning its attention to me. I felt tears forming in my eyes. Immediately, I felt my stomach give in, hurtling to the side. It hurt because I had already done so earlier, and there was nothing left to give. Leaning over the mess I produced, I could only think of one thing. Victoria. In the end, I could do nothing.